Head coach Clint Mylymok joins me right now. And coach, good weekend for you guys. 4 points, but a tough one on Saturday. You guys got grinding that out. We mentioned last week, tough goaltender coming back in.
Yep.
And it seemed you guys did overcome that though.
Yeah, we're getting used to the last couple of years. How to play tight games, how to just continue playing the way we're supposed to, and be smart without the puck, be above. Just watching from the bench and seeing how difficult it is for teams when they enter our zone. They got guys all over them. So we did a good job defensively. Our forwards did a good job coming back. Our defensemen did a good job being aggressive at our blues, which is what we're still working on. And then in the end, we have two very good goaltenders that were great for us. Our power play didn't click, but our PK was great. That's usually because your goalies, they made some good saves, and that was the difference.
And now you look ahead now to New Jersey. They came in here last time. 4 points out of that for them. What's the key for getting 4 points for you guys this week?
It's not going to be hard to motivate our guys. They still remember that weekend, and obviously we've moved on a little bit, but we're also playing a team that split with Maine last weekend, and they won like 5-2 and lost 2-1. So they scored some goals and they defended. So they've got good goalies. They've got good sticks. They're well coached. So we know what to expect, and we'll see what kind of motivation we have after that last disappointing weekend against them.
When you look at this weekend, it's going to be a big one. Old Bay weekend on Old Bay game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Place going to be electric. How do you tell? It shouldn't take long for these kids to get motivated from that electricity on there, but how do you have that holstered into the right areas?
It's not hard. We usually don't talk about. I think the first few games our kids play here that haven't been here, they're kind of surprised by how loud it is and the atmosphere, and then they feed off of it. To be honest, they love it, and I think the other teams usually feed off of it too and love it. So I think it definitely wakes us up, and it's always fun to be a part of. But we're used to it by now, so we don't really talk about. But it will be extra special because our staff's done a good job of getting people in the building, and the jerseys will be fantastic. It's a fun event for Maryland, and we have a lot of Maryland kids, so I think it'll be awesome.
Speaking of those Maryland kids, all of them scored this weekend, area guys. You've been here for 6 years now. You've seen the progression and the guys coming in and out of the roster. How have you seen this progression for this area in general?
I think it's just huge because we had Maryland kids skate with us today, and we have kids from all over to come skate with us. But the local kids, they get to come in and at a young age and see they're really strong, or they're really fast, or they shoot the puck really hard, and then they kind of get to measure themselves against the other local components too, and see okay, there's Dimitri Kibru, Jesse Horchek, Sam Stitz, and we have 6 guys in our team, I believe, that are Maryland kids. So not only do they see it during the season, but they also in the summer get to skate with our guys, and I think there's no better experience you can get than being on the ice with kids that play at this level or college level and understand what it takes, and not only that, but to see how hard they work in practice, and then in turn, when we go in the weight room, what these guys do. And I think that's the biggest advantage for our local kids. They see it early, and it'll do 2 things. It'll deter them from wanting to do the hard work and go, you know what, maybe I'll go to a different sport or stick with something else, or just play for fun, which is fine. Or they'll get the appetite for, I want that too. And now I know what it takes, and they get that early. So that's really important, and that's what we afford our local products, younger and our youth kids, to really kind of get a personal screening of what it's like, and kind of a snapshot to what they have to do to get here.
Now you're going to see a lot of that hunger and drive going up to Pittsburgh in a few weeks for the Top Prospect Tournament. You'll be going there for the 3rd time. Congratulations on that. What is the big thing that you get out of that tournament and seeing everyone around there?
I think it's something where you may not get something out of it, like as a player. They of course they want commitments, but if you go there and think it's like an all-star game, you may lose out pretty quick on schools that are there watching. Well, it's they're evaluating. So my message is, if we're here, it's to win and compete. Whether you win or lose, we still want them to compete, but you have to have that drive. So you're out there for a reason. You've been selected for a reason. There are things you want in hockey that are still available and waiting for you. So if you want it, just another opportunity to go ahead and take it. And I thought our guys the last couple of years have done a good job being impactful in the games, like producing or being good players. And that's my expectation with them. But also now we're talking with other kids from other teams saying the same thing. Like, we're not going to be soft on them. Say it's an all-star game. We're going to push them to compete and every shift, and that's what the schools want, and the kids say they want commitments, and we're there to push them to help them get the most out of them that we can. Even in that setting, we want them to perform.
And now on this Old Bay weekend, in the 6 years you've been here, have you been ingrained to these wonderful products here and just have it all over your pantry?
Yeah, I do have it. It's something that our seafood, fantastic. I haven't really gone overboard with it, but I tell you what, you can't say you don't like it around here, because you get some pretty rough stares. You can't insult the crabs or the Old Bay, or else you're in trouble around here. But I love seafood, so I have used it. I've given it away as gifts too to family members, and they all seem to love it. So it's a popular item, whether it's in Maryland or somewhere else, for sure.
Head coach Clint Mylymok.